burping in live. Let me see if it's live. It looks like it is. Wanted to make a I wanted to make a quick video. Hopefully you can hear me. About a comment thread that I got from the Ryan and Ryan show that we did. And this guy was contacting me about vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is something that I have struggled to have in my body for whatever reason forever. At one point, I don't know if it's nanograms per deciliter. I can't remember 100% what the measuring measurements are. I think it's nanogram per deciliter. But this patient advocate help contacted me. At first, any comment, especially if I don't recognize the person at first, I'm always a little leery of it. But I wanted to read some of this and just talk about this because at one point, did I just say this? At one point, mine was down to a 3. Now, I was out in the sun today. I know even when it's not sunny out, supposedly you can still get vitamin D, but sun, unfortunately, has been in short supply here on the East Coast. I do have a vitamin D lamp, and I just ordered capsules of 50,000 IUs of vitamin D. Now, I'm actually going to be putting another video of this together, but I haven't done a live in a while. Is my TV on? My TV's actually on. I didn't think I left it on. So let's get started with this. You are most likely insufficient or deficient in vitamin D. Get your levels to at least 100. Mine is at 144. I would love to get mine over 100, not only for myself, but just to watch the doctors malfunction, because I know over 100 is actually fine. You know, this is a modern day thing that we're going through with since 1920s with vitamin D being considered toxic. High dose vitamin D3 is the most anabolic vitamin you can take because it is the body's highest myostatin inhibitor. Vitamin D also controls and modulates your microbiome and bile acids, which I've definitely had issues with. Most people gain their weight back because they are low in vitamin D. Also, you can take TUDCA, which will reverse endoplasmic reticulum stress and helps you break down your foods and absorb the nutrients. Also, try going on a complete protein restriction for 3 to 5 days. If you do the above, you will see an improvement in your situation. The protein is not an issue. I don't really have a lot of protein, although when I have potatoes in my diet, my protein is actually higher than you would think. So then he writes this novel, but it's very helpful, and it almost makes me thankful for having this crazy ass channel of mine with all the haters, but I've also got some people that it seems like this channel really helps. My live still. All right. So thanks for the response. You have the same situation I had. My vitamin D got down to 19 at one point. Mine was a 3. Taking 50,000 IUs and getting in the sun each day, which I did today. I was out there for an hour and a half walking. First, when you are low in vitamin D, your GI tract is compromised and you're not going to absorb nutrients, including vitamin D. I'm assuming you are overweight and or diabetic. The one thing I've never, not that I'm complaining about, had issue with is blood sugar. If you're not low, vitamin D will lead to these conditions like my situation. It took me 4 years to figure out what was going wrong with me and how to reverse. I have 20,000 clinical studies I have to read to figure things out. I think this is worded incorrectly or I didn't read it correctly. To figure out things out because doctors had no solutions except to diagnose me with numerous conditions and want to prescribe medication. Again, the same thing that I've gone through. This is what I've learned, and most likely is going on with your situation. You have intracellular Staphylococcus. I think I'm saying that right. which causes endoplasmic reticulum stress, which causes low testosterone, bile acid dysfunction, pancreatic insufficiency, and low vitamin D. Staphylococcus causes a chronic inflammatory condition that stimulates the body's main inflammatory pathways called NFK or NFKB. Your body secretes cortisol to try and lower the inflammatory pathway. Again, I've talked about cortisol issues many times, which is why people get hyper cortisol. The pathway also causes the body to switch M1 macrophages, maybe, to M2, or sorry, macrophages. Not good with these words. Keeping you in chronic state of low inflammation. The chronic infection stimulates a hormone called FGF28 that lowers vitamin D levels. Staphylococcus also stimulates your mitochondria to increase fission versus fusion. Studies show that increase in fusion causes chronic fatigue, which I have, diabetes, which I don't, insulin resistance, which I do, hypertension, I don't think, hyperlipidemia, and cancer. I could explain a lot more. However, here are just a few other things research shows. High LDL and APOB is a response to Staphylococcus in the body. It binds to Staphylococcus and toxins of SA and attempts to take them in the endothelial tissue to kill and or destroy the same. This is where the plaque comes from. Anyway, when you have low vitamin D, you have to address it if your health will or your health will continue to deteriorate. Like the Vegan Deterioration channel. I'll contact you tomorrow afternoon. We can set something up. And it looks like he did. The Ryan and Ryan show has also said, while you were on 50,000 IUs, and I was, and I actually just ordered them again because my body does not like to absorb vitamin D. When I got tested and it was down to a 3, that was during my time where I was at the beach every day for like 2 or 3 hours because I was recovering from ankle surgery and I really couldn't do much. So I would waddle my ass to the beach, and being in the water, because it kind of, you float a bit, was helping me out quite a bit. So I was doing that. And even being in the sun like 2 or 3 hours a day, my vitamin D was still at a 3. No, sorry. At this point, it was at a 16. And then they wanted it to get better, so they put me on like a heavy dose, but it went down to a 3 because they put me on a heavy dose for a week, and they said that would take care of it. And it got into more of the late fall into the winter when they wanted me to come back. And by that time, it had gone down to a 3. So I started doing 50,000 IUs a day. And 2 months later, it was only up to a 39. And I think it's low again because I'm having the same symptoms as always. Is there a chat of any kind? Is 1 mil IU per day okay? All right, so I wanted to also talk about this. So Cassius Funk is the man who discovered vitamin D, and he couldn't believe all the benefits that vitamin D gave. So he had people on 25 milligrams a day, which I forget how many IUs that is. And people were getting cured of every disease known to man. So drink a lot of hot water. It gets things moving. Okay, I got to clear this up. When I say I have digestion issues, it's not a matter of not going. That's not an issue. I go 5-6 times a day, maybe 7. The issue is it doesn't do anything with what I eat. Like I obviously I'm alive, so it does something, but for the most part, it goes out looking like it did going in, and it's not supposed to, not to that level. So anyway, I wanted to make a quick video about this. I don't want to be live all night, but Um, how do you kill that Staphylococcus water fast for 7 to 14 days and trigger autophagy to eat, destroy it? I don't think so. I don't think it takes that much. He said drop the protein, which I protein restriction for 3 to 5 days. I'm going to talk to the guy and see what he has to say. I guess I can move this out of, because he said some other stuff. He wants me to go get tested, but I know it's low. I don't even need to go get tested. Oh man, he wrote a lot. I'll have to read this and wow. We got a novel here. Instead of reading all of this, I'm just going to hopefully interview the guy and we can get some answers from there. Where the hell did that dog go? No, there it is. All right. I'm kind of piecing this together because I forgot that I have a vitamin D lamp, but I apparently it's not doing enough. I forgot that a lot of the symptoms that I'm going through right now are related to vitamin D, and also my thyroid has clearly ramped up because my nails and my hair are growing like crazy lately, and I know that is a byproduct of the thyroid being increased. So it has to be needing more vitamin D to get around that. I probably should have put a better title on this thing. Let's see if I can change the title. Edit. Vitamin D and the sugar fat and the sugar diet. Save. You guys could like this thing. I don't know how many people are actually in here, but and I wasn't going to come on here for forever either. Anyway, my vitamin D is something I've dealt with, and I suspect a lot of people deal with it because they have people going on these crazy ass, like putting sunscreen on, never be in the sun, block yourself from the sun. And they're also putting the stuff in the sky to block out the sun. I mean, they're doing everything. They know what damages us, and they're doing everything that they can to allow our environment to be damaging to us. So it's ridiculous. Why is that one updating and this one's not? That's interesting. Oh, wow. There's a huge delay. I got two different chat things going on. You look tan. Yeah, I definitely got a lot of sun today, and I get dark, like really dark. How do I know the lamp is reputable? I mean, this company's been in business for 45 years. I mean, they would have gone. Actually, I got suggested the lamp from a doctor. Not that that means anything, but they've been using it for years to help people. So that is where we're at right now. I'm also changing up my sugar. It's going to be more of a sugar diet right now because I'm going to be adding potatoes back in. I'm looking over in the other room because I'm looking at my potatoes just for a couple days. I'm testing things around. I've noticed that I'm gaining weight on watermelon, so I'm going to cut the watermelon back. I've also been using bananas, but the bananas don't seem to be a holding weight on me. It really seemed to be the extremely watery fruits like the grapes and the watermelon really were not doing me any favors. The vitamin D thing is becoming an issue. So I'm going to definitely go out during like 10 to 2 during the day for a walk. And you said, how's it going, my friend? It's going pretty good, actually. I'm in a pretty good mood today. Had to deal with the government today, though, so that's never fun. But Yeah. So anyway, that's another thing. So anybody who is really struggling, and if they're doing the sugar diet and they're struggling still, and they got a bunch of lethargy issues and everything like thing else like that, maybe get your vitamin D checked. I'm not even going to bother getting mine checked because I know the symptoms, and I completely forgot about this. This is the exact symptoms that I went to my sleep doctor with. This is the exact symptoms, the reason they tested me. She also wanted to test my ferritin and iron, but they're always well within range. Matter of fact, sometimes my iron is over. Yeah, me too. You gave me the potatoes idea, and it's working great. Screw rice bloats me. Yeah, rice is definitely not something that I'm going to use a lot of, but potatoes I've never really had issues with. Do you and Fabulous Chris play pickleball? I've actually never played pickleball, but I'd be maybe game for it. I have to remember I got a fixed ankle. So things like that are real quick with your ankles, I can't do them. Go out later than that. Sun in the summer is more strong in the afternoon. No, at noon it's directly overhead here. Because of where we line up, it's directly overhead at noon here. 10 a.m. is, I like to go out at 10 a.m. to be ready by noon, but noon is when it's like peak. I would try never played. Yeah, I've never played it either, and I cannot forget that I have a fixed ankle and it doesn't articulate, so that could get unique. Anyway, that's about it. Yeah. That's all I had to say. I saw my camera. I saw the light was still on, and I figured I would kind of get on here. I haven't done a live in a while. But if you guys have any comments or questions or want to ask me anything, I'm here for a little while. I haven't been doing a lot of the candy. I actually think the candy that did the best for me was those Nerd gummy clusters. And it might be because of the gelatin in it. Maybe the gelatin, because I know Ray Pete was a big fan of gelatin, so maybe the gelatin had something to do with it helping. I don't know. I walk multiple times a day, and you can feel the sun on your face way more at 3 than you can at 11 in the morning. Yeah, it usually gets warmer at that time of day. You doing potatoes tonight? No, I'm going to finish up some of these mangoes and bananas, and then I'm going to soak. I always soak potatoes, not sweet potatoes, but regular, actual potatoes. Sweet potatoes are not potatoes to me. They're a foreign food that no one should eat. But potatoes I always soak for at least an hour beforehand. Yeah, I mean, you can feel the sun more, the heat from the sun more at 3 o'clock. That doesn't mean it's overhead more. You know, it really doesn't matter to me when I go out. Like it's directly overhead at noon. Peter Rogers says to donate blood periodically to get excess iron out of your system. I'm never going to do that. I'm not giving blood to those reptiles. So I'd rather just let it drop on the floor. I'm not donating anything. I'm not donating organs. I'm not donating anything I can keep it myself. So Peter Rogers can do that if he needs to. But that is where we're at. Yeah, so the potatoes are going to be getting added. I bought 5 pounds of potatoes. I didn't want to go overboard. I'm going to try that tomorrow. I used to actually start off my day with mashed potatoes a long time ago, and got great energy off that. I think I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my day off with potatoes. I'm going to eat the potatoes. Then I'm going to go for a walk and then come back and start my day. And we'll go from there. Go from there. Especially too, because it's like the coolest part of the day and I don't have air conditioning. I don't really love air conditioning all that much anyway. So that's what we're going to be doing. I know it's, not exactly the sugar fasting, but the sugar fasting is driving me a bit nuts. I think I'm also going to buy the gummy clusters tomorrow, even though they got gelatin in them. They were the best that I've had as far as the the candy goes. But I might take the train down to downtown and go to the Target or go to the Bay Ridge one. Are you on your phone in bed when you're trying to sleep? My phone does not enter my bedroom. There is no electronics in my bedroom. No. Everybody wants to think it's a phone. Not. Just not. Yeah. Man, I wish I was better at this. Are people looking forward to the summer? Are you sugar fasting for who on here is actually sugar fasting? That's a question. Who on here is actually sugar fasting? That I would love to know that. Yeah, Ryan, I'm high carb now. No more sugar fast. I'm done. Daniel, a sleep physician turned coach, has the Sleep Coach School YouTube channel with 1,700 videos and 20,000 subscribers. He might want to study me. I've had so many sleep doctors want to study me. I've had 3 or 4 sleep studies done on me already. Yeah, no one's doing the sugar diet. I'm not sugar fasting. I lasted 2.5 days. I can respect that. Not me. This person here is one. We're only a few retards out there. Yeah, 2.5 days. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame anybody. You know, I'm getting to the point, and I've gotten to this point before, that like, why were we not having to sugar fast back in the day? Like, why were we not having to do any of this back in the day? What is the difference? It can't be just the food. There has to be something else. There's a UK food truck trend where they put baked beans on baked potatoes. I tried it, and it's kind of good. That is a really good combination, but it has to be, in my mind, in the way I've done it, it has to be a baked potato. I've tried it on like mashed potato. I've tried it on steamed potatoes. It's not good. It has to be a baked potato. It has to be. Sugar fat, and you know, there's another food truck trend in, like, if you go to Seattle or like Japan, Yakiimo, where they stone bake Japanese sweet potatoes. Now that is a good sweet potato. Sugar fasting 2 days a week. Now I'm at maintenance. Howdy, Chris. Peace, brother. Yeah. I don't know. You know, and he keeps changing his message a bit too. Have you tried my pot? I have not tried your popcorn recipe yet. I need to do it, but I keep thinking like I'm going to get like the most sticky fingers from this, and I hate that. I hate that. I hate that, and like if a sandwich gets wet, like soggy, I'll throw it out. I won't eat it. So I have these like really weird quirks that I just can't seem to get past. But I will try it at some point. Maybe it'll happen tonight. Who knows? I use chopsticks to eat it and mix it. That is a phenomenal idea. All right. Thank you. I'm glad I said something now. That is a phenomenal idea. Maybe you should have a cooking channel. Popcorn is a great low-fat food. Thanks for reminding me. So if you like ketchup and you like nooch, popcorn with ketchup and nooch is really good. I don't like sticky fingers either. I hate it. It's so annoying. And I feel like every time you have sticky fingers, there's a commercial on the TV, and it's like at the point where you can hit like skip, and you just can't because your fingers are sticky. I'm sugar fasting most of the day, then starch and protein for dinner, then finish off with sugar at night, down 13 pounds in 7 weeks. Not bad. Are you low to or close to where you want to be? I used to post vegan food videos on this channel, but I privated everything on this channel. Why? Why'd you private everything? Nice, Chase. Yeah, I mean, 13.5 pounds in 7 weeks is pretty good. See, this used to be a normal thing. Like this whole idea of the sugar fasting, of dropping a pound a day, it becomes a stressor in and of itself, and then people feel like total failures if you're not dropping a pound a day. And it just you might be really close to your final weight, and it's just not going to happen, or your body, you're maybe an older person or female, and it's just not going to happen. Your hormones might be really screwed. Like in my case, my vitamin D is appearing to be really off again. You just never know, never know. And people want to call these all excuses, but if you're losing like 3 to 5 pounds or 3 pounds a week, that's really good. Chase, how much you got to lose? Yeah, I mean, that's the interesting question is how much. Well, I mean, none of us really know how much we have to lose. Your body's only going to get to a certain point where it's comfortable. And then it's just going to stay there, whether you like it or not. Pound a day, my ass. Honestly, 3 to 5 pounds a week is incredible. Yeah. That used to be the standard. I mean, most bodybuilders take weeks to lose. Like if they got to lose 20 pounds, they'll take weeks to do it, not 20 days. I made a comment on Emma's channel about how I did starch in the morning. I kind of reversed the raw till 4, so it'd start with raw or start with starch and then go to raw. And my digestion was just fine with it. And it seems like a lot of people are doing that. I think we have just gotten used to instant gratification in recent years. 100%. 100%. It's ridiculous. It started with this whole idea of Amazon with their warehouses everywhere and being able to ship stuff immediately the next day. It's, or the TikTok thing, every instant gratification, I did sugar fasting for a week. I mostly maintained. It felt like I mostly lost water weight and then would gain it back after eating starches. Well, yeah, that's why you said to drop the starch. The first week you should lose a good 5 pounds if you're overweight. It depends on how overweight you are. I mean, when I was super overweight, when I was in the 400s, I mean, weight was falling off pretty effortlessly, especially if you switch from like eating shit and then all of a sudden you're not. I mean, it falls off quick, but you're going to get to a certain point where it's just not practical because of the water and all that. Now you might gain. Actually, if you're coming off keto, this happened to me anyway. Like if you're coming on off keto and you add a bunch of carbohydrates and you kind of like refill on carbohydrates, you might gain for the first week. I'm at a point now where 1 pound a week till I'm there is perfect. Yeah. Well, you're in a different situation. Started at 184 at 170 now. Goal is 160, 65. Body comp is there. Is the real goal, but using weight to track progress. Yeah, so you don't have a ton to go. Yeah. As far as exercise go, I think the perfect exercise is Stellar Sizer. Go buy one from me. Link down below. And walking. I think those are the two most perfect exercises that there is. We're walkers. I mean, really think about it. We're just walkers. Think about it like if you're having a crazy or a bad or a good or whatever day, most people, the first thing they want to do is go for a walk. Weights and everything like that are such a new concept. I'd rather go lift a log in a woods somewhere. I just got my Peloton this week. Love it. Cool. Is it the bike? Because now they got like treadmills too, don't they? Latchkey is going slow and steady. Your thoughts? 100% slow and steady. Because otherwise, if you drop it too quick, you're going to rebound hard. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. You're gonna rebound hard. Walking 10 to 20 or 12, 10 to 12,000 steps a day. 10 to 15-minute kettlebell workout 3 days. That's good. That's a good one. What kilogram kettlebell? What do you think your maintenance diet will look like? Mine? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I talked to the Pompo person today because part of the whole program is you talk to like a coach every so often. And she wants me to add a little bit of fat in. She said I'm probably not absorbing some of the vitamins. She might have a point. What do you think I love walking, feeds my soul. Yeah, I mean, and when you're walking like that, you're like the motor skills are kind of, it makes both sides hemispheres of the brain work, and you can think a lot better. A lot of writers, artists and stuff, they'll draw or write or whatever for a little while, and they'll go for a walk, and then they'll come back. Helps them a lot. Yeah, the bike. Yeah, that bike looks pretty sweet. Is it like a spin bike, like a good one, like with a flywheel? On my third dog walk of the day right now, listening to you. Oh, that's awesome. That's the only thing good dogs are good for, in my mind. Have you heard of PE diet by Dr. Ted Newman? I think he has a point with the approach. That approach, I have not. See, yeah, using a Peloton treadmill. I thought they had that. Hey, Vadim, I like Ted Newman. He makes sense. I don't know who it is. Walking every day and even just 2 full body lifts a week. 3 would be better in my opinion, but just the 2 will recount the body like crazy once the diet's in check. I would like to get back to body weight, but my recovery lately has been just so bad. Ted Neiman, 10, 14, and 18 kilogram. Cool. I have a 16 and a 24 kilogram. I get a pair of each. They're actually right there. Neiman has something called Society Score. Very interesting, cool app and free. I think so, but I'm no bike expert. I mean, get out of this channel if you're not a bike expert. I'm just kidding. I think protein is important, and I can even hypothesize that the reason your body raises metabolic rate on low protein diet is to make you purposely more energetic and hyper to get that protein. No, that's just nonsense. That's absolute nonsense. Your body does not derive any energy from protein whatsoever. I was never more tired than I was when I was eating protein. Starch appears to maintain weight. Raw vegan fruit and greens is the only time I lose weight. I think that has something to do with insulin more than anything. Ted Neiman says the perfect food is fat-free yogurt. The fuck? Free yogurt. What is with all these yogurt people? I hated that stuff. I could not jive with that. No way. When I used to eat yogurt, I just like, why does anybody eat this stuff? Again, that goes back to, though, if you've got bacteria in your small intestine, you're not going to do well with yogurt. Me too. My protein's so low now, feeling great. Yeah, nobody is getting energy off of protein. I don't know where people are getting this thought from. It's not really possible unless you're turning the protein into carbohydrates. So you may as well just eat the carbohydrates. In my testing, I seem to drop weight easier when I eliminate protein, but I still include rice. Protein is anabolic. Parker Eok. I'm not sure. This guy's name is changed like 32 times. What is this guy's actual last name? Nauman actually pushes protein number 1. I said society score. Oh, satiety. Protein doesn't give you satiety. I mean, there's no fiber in it whatsoever. What the hell are they talking about? I can eat so much meat. Unless it's like chicken, which I don't think we're supposed to be eating, or turkey, like poultry. I don't think, this is, again, like it's like sweet potatoes. No yogurt, no dairy for me anymore. It's been a revelation. I realized I was extremely overweight at the time. But I lost around 50 pounds the month that I dropped dairy. How often do I talk to Cole? Talk to him today, not on the phone, just in a voice message. I think it's Nyman. Yeah, I mean, like if I'm like reading this and everybody's got a different spelling in the name than Nyman. He just sounds like, one of the tribe. I ended up having to go to the doctor because I was eating so much yogurt. I was getting the worst cramps. Yeah, that stuff. I think even Ray Pete was pushing that until he realized that he shouldn't be pushing it anymore. My protein has never been lower. Performance has been great, but lost 14 kilograms in 2 months on the Fabulous Bodies version of the sugar diet. Also, no more ammonia-like body odor. Dude, protein and me. I had, what were they? I guess there were brats. They were either Polish sausage or brats on uh, Labor Day last year. Immediately smelled like ammonia. Immediately. It was so terrible. Like immediately. I was so just irritated by it. I almost left my parents' house. And I didn't even have them on purpose. I didn't even know. Like, so it's not like I was mentally like, oh, I'm going to smell like ammonia. He gave me the wrong thing. What do you mean about insulin resistance? I already eat low fat. The cooked food stalls me. I didn't say insulin resistance. I said insulin issues. Glucose and, is completely different than, or it's mostly glucose, which needs a lot of insulin. Thanks, Pickles. Don't know what that's a reference to. It is Nyman using talk to text walking dogs. Oh, okay. 3 of them. Oh, boy. Yikes. I'm just not a dog person. I mean, they're all right, but I wouldn't do it voluntarily. Now, if like my lady had dogs, whatever, but I would never. But yeah, anyway, the protein thing is just never ending. They have, I mean, how many years of propaganda is this now with the protein? I mean, just how many? I mean, it's not even years anymore, it's decades. So, like, everybody's had this protein thing forced into their head so many times now. It's like the government actually funded the China study, and then they did everything opposite of what the China study found. Have you ever thought about doing a watermelon mono island? No. No. I get so bloated on watermelon, it's not even funny. It's ironic that Cole said that to me. He told me if I ate nothing but watermelon for the entire summer, I would lose a shitload of weight. But I honestly don't know that that's true, because I've done days of it where it was just the only thing I ate for days, and it was also seeded watermelon. Man, was I bloated. It was ridiculous. And I was raw up till that point. How much protein do we really need? Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. I mean, the RDA used to be 55, but how trustable is the RDA? I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, it's an unknown factor. Height, weight, age, sex, activity level. Are you lifting? Do you have a stressful job? Do you have a high labor job? Do you have? I mean, it's just there's so many factors that go into it. Have you looked into Fletcherism? I don't think so. I talked to my wife into carnivore after she was vegetarian for 10 years. She gained 10 pounds in a month eating bacon. She was furious with me. I can imagine so. I can imagine so. On top of the fact, isn't bacon super expensive nowadays? I mean, no. What would you like to see RFK Jr. do? Well, he's going after the food coloring, which I'm happy about. I don't know, because isn't he's really into this carnivore thing? If I believe I'm right about that. So I don't know. Actually, he might be brainwashed into that world, and I know he's on TRT as well. Um, I would, if he could do anything, and I don't know that you can even do it at this point. I'm assuming you can, but the ingredients that we have in food nowadays is just so disgusting. We need to get rid of this 25 or 30 ingredients just to make ketchup. Like bread, I mean, some of the breads you buy have 40 ingredients in it, when it's like ideally would be 5 ingredients to make a bread. So, I mean, if he could do something with that, I think that would be most beneficial. And also, if somebody could take down Monsanto, I guarantee I'm going to get flagged for that, because I've gotten flagged for even saying that in previous videos. And they cut my monetization on other videos just for even saying something against Monsanto. But if you could get rid of Monsanto, and I'm not talking like just close them down. I'm talking burn the building, destroy every server that they've ever owned, destroy everything they've ever done. Now, I know that they have an entire department in their I think they're out of Nebraska, that has all of the old seeds, the seeds that they got, the nightmarish seeds that they have now. I think somebody should be able to have those, rescue those, but the rest of it needs to go. And I'm not calling for any violence or anything like that. I don't need somebody saying that. But like if somebody like RFK Jr. could have that happen, that would be great. Protein is anabolic, then why am I why do you always have these questions? I don't know. I don't know your situation. When are you leaving for your sister's place on the 23rd? Just happened. I'm leaving on the 23rd. I think I'm coming back on the 2nd. Fletcher, chewing, masticating the food until it's liquid greatly assists digestion and relieve gas and bloating. Yeah, no, people tell me that all the time. I do. I mean, people get annoyed at how long it takes me to eat. How much protein? The thing is like people assume that I'm like just level 2 IQ, and I've never looked into anything in my life. Not making fun of anybody, but like I've been dealing with this a long time. How much protein does your body need? I've done DEXA scans while trying different diets, and know for a fact that when my protein was low on both low carb and balanced diet, I lost lean tissue. I mean, but your muscle is a carbohydrate storing unit, so maybe. And again, if you're going, like the thing is like you say low carb here. If you're eating just fat, I can see that happening because you don't have a lot of carbohydrates. You know, have you thought about going high fat keto for no? Ask Ryan. I'm a pretty big guy in person, and I'm fine with 50 to 80 grams a day. It's a joke. Yeah, you're tall for sure. And few times I increased protein while reducing both fat and carbs. My lean protein stayed the same or increased by 4 pounds when I was doing slow burn weightlifting. The problem with that is you don't know how much of your body or your protein your body was turning into carbohydrates. We are all different. We are our Vladim. I just took a 100-gram sugar drink. Let's go. Chris, I was losing lean tissue. No. Dogs over kids? No. I'm sorry. That message, I'm so sick of it. I usually eat around 100 grams. I mean, that's just like everybody's, that just in my mind is like, this is coming from single parent households. Everybody was raised by mothers. And like, so now men have like this trait from women that they didn't used to have, like this overly selfish trait that women have just by nature, but men have adopted. It's just, no, this whole thing, you know, animals over kids. I'm sorry. No. Vadim, are you in shape, lean? One thing never spoken about in either circle is the latitude you live at and deuterium effect on the mitochondria and how you depleting that sunshine is crucial in activating many pathways. I'd 100% agree on that. Yeah. The sun is so important. And that is why sunscreen has come out. That is why they're trying to block out the sky. That is why they want us not having sunlight as so much. They tell you to put on sunglasses to protect your eyes, which is bullshit. Yeah. The sun is so important. Have you ever heard of slow burn weightlifting? It was created by Arthur Jones. I kind of like it. Only takes 30 minutes twice a week. Laugh aloud and fine. I am a sissy. Yeah. Mike Menzer is the one that really took off with it. Actually, Arthur Jones used Casey Viator and Mike Menzer to test that out. The one problem he didn't tell anybody, not the problem, but the one thing he didn't tell anybody is both of them were on vast amounts of steroids at the time. So it's kind of hard to compare that with an ordinary humanoid. But I actually trained people on the Menzer program years ago in 2003, 4, and 5. I was exclusively training people using, I called it the Menzer program because Menzer kind of changed it a little bit from the original Arthur Jones program. I love how there's a huge dip as soon as I talk about kids, and I love that. So no, I know exactly what that is. As far as the cadence that he used, I don't know if it's as important as you would think, but it is a very interesting philosophy. I mean, Arthur Jones single-handedly is the reason that gyms exist these days. Beef, Jerry, okay on the sugar diet, just 1 stick per day. On the sugar diet, yes. On the sugar fasting, no. I think something bit me. Yes, Sammy. My room is a mausoleum to keep out the 110 degrees sun from the burning me alive. Yeah, if I had something like that going on here, there's a Lowe's right up or down the road, I should say. I would walk down there and walk back with a AC. If it got real hot in here. Last year, I didn't run the air conditioning in my house at all. I was 155 pounds of 5'8" for years on low carb. I did gain 40 pounds of fat after COVID. I was shocked. I went from 150 something to almost 190, and all 40 pounds was fat. All of it was fat? That's crazy. I mean, did you get a scan? Yeah, that sucks. I think a lot of people went through that. I actually lost weight in 2020 just because of the fact that I had to have my ankle removed and replaced, and I couldn't do anything. It's ironic, when I was at my most sedentary, I lost the most weight, and I wasn't even trying to do anything. That's why I say, like, doing crazy ass workouts, it really just does not pay. The real tame workouts, I think, is the most effective. Yes, DEXA scan. I do a few a year to keep track. Yeah, that's crazy. It's a lot of fat to gain in 1 year. I mean, you must have been eating just like total trash. Anyway, I have nothing else to add. I got to make something for dinner at some point here. What time is it? 8:20. I was born obese at 10 pounds, so my body has always been fat storing machine. It's ironic. My sister was really heavy baby, but she's never had that issue. She can gain weight, but I mean, she definitely never had that issue. I did. And she was heavier than I was. Lots of those Quest protein bars and nightly snacking. Oh, yeah. Quest protein bars are trash. Nightly snacking. Honestly, all the weight that I've lost has been eating at night. I don't really buy into the whole. I mean, every single animal on the planet eats and then sleeps. Every single one. And actually, humans used to have, before the industrialization of the planet, we used to have a split night where most people would go to bed at like 9 o'clock and they would wake up at midnight and they would do a bunch of stuff around the house and then they would go back to bed and then get up whenever they did. Have you ever taken ADHD or depression, anxiety pills like Abby Sharp? She's a mess. I have not. No, I refuse to do it. I have not. Depends on what you eat, not late night eating. Yeah, I mean, if you're having Ben and Jerry's, which I don't know, I think I've had it. I don't know why I even use that reference. I think I've had their stuff. Then yeah, if you're eating a potato, you know, it's a completely different thing. But yeah. Yes. Depends on what you eat. Yeah, I know, like, because when I used to do DoorDash, I know the night stuff was really bad. So I could see how that would add to your I can see how that would add to your weight. Like the stuff that I used to pick up. My favorite night was Saturday night from like 9 to like 2 in the morning. Oh man, you could make a ton of money. People are drunk and tipping like crazy. It's wonderful. But yeah, I could see that. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get going here because I got to figure out dinner, and it's somehow after 8 o'clock already. I did my wonderful going to bed one time at 9:30. I don't think I'll return to that. Problem is my blood glucose stays high all night if I eat at night. I wear a CGM all the time. My base beat you. You're not. See, I wouldn't want to wear one of those CGMs because it's continuously having radiation in your body. I would think that would have more issue with your blood sugar than anything. Did you take your cat's ashes to your new apartment in New York? Yep, she's right there. Great live. I'm about to hit the streets for my night walk. You walking tonight? Nah, I did an hour and a half walk earlier today, and I got to eat. But I might go out for a little while. Actually, you know, can you text me if you can see the moon? I can't see anything with it being in here like this. If you could see the moon, then I'll go out. Should look into the work of Dr. I have actually. I actually had made a video about Jack Cruz, and YouTube didn't like it. They wouldn't let me even publish it. It said I couldn't publish it because of a couple different countries, and I'm like, forget it. So I didn't publish it at all. But yes, he does have some interesting stuff. Should look into the work. Yeah. I think everyone near their goal weight should do a DEXA scan. Weight's 175 for 9 months. I was furious, but when I did it, my DEXA, I found I dropped 3% fat. Yeah. You know, Pritikin used to talk about this. I mean, they didn't have a DEXA scan back then. They had the water thing, but he definitely said that, you know, if you're close to your weight, you might be losing fat, and it might be like blood volume or muscle tissue or something like that that's actually causing the extra weight on you. Pickles, I agree. Don't agree with his stance on food, but I've followed his work for over a decade, and it's good stuff. Yeah, I actually have blue blockers right here, but I need to get the grandpa ones, the ones that fit over your glasses, because these were just so narrow that the light was going up underneath of them. I probably should have sent them back, but it's too late at this point. A couple other things, but yeah, something he said in the video, YouTube absolutely did not like, and they would not let me publish it. So maybe I'll make another one. But on that note, I am going to probably get out of here. I think I've been on here for like 54. Maybe I'll stick it out till an hour. I'll do 1 hour and then I'm going to get out of here. So any more questions, ask them in the next 5 minutes or comment or whatever. And I'm going to get out of here. Especially if you can see the full moon. Should be able to see it at this point. Thanks, Ryan. Have a good evening. Skinny Carbs, make another video. Yeah, I haven't seen any of your videos in a while. If there's nothing else, I'll get out of here before then. Okay, it seems like that's it. I might actually get on here again tomorrow. It'll be earlier. I might try around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so maybe some of the people in the UK can see it. One step ahead of your Fab, just finished mine. Was gonna do one tonight, but got cut by the kids. Cut up by the kids? That's not good. I'm gonna make a movie about that. Yeah, good night. CGMs are not accurate, especially when you're sleeping. No worries, we understand. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Nobody's saying anything anymore. That's fine. I can't see the moon, but I'm in Idaho. Well, you're like 3 hours behind, aren't you? Okay, I'm gonna peace. I don't know what I'm eating for dinner, but I gotta figure that out. And I will talk to you in the next one.